Hey, everybody. I want to talk um, about why I stopped trying to grow my business. And more importantly, what happened in my business when I stopped trying. So, okay, I have been in business for something like 7 or 8 years now. And for the first several years, I tried really hard. I did all the things. I knew enough to know what I didn't know, and I went online and um, like I joined different trainings. I learned about online marketing, and the number one thing that I was told was that I had to get a very specific niche, and I had to pick something. So I kept picking things. I kept niche switching. I don't know if you guys can relate to this. And I had a really hard time deciding like who I wanted to be in the business world. I was trying so hard, you guys. I tried, I wrote a book called Run Yourself Happy because a huge part of who I am is a runner and a coach. And by the way, if you don't know me, my name is Carrie Roldan. I am the business BFF, and I help people to let their higher selves run their business. I'm a coach at heart. Before I got into this online business world, I was actually a cross country and track coach. So I started out thinking, okay, great. I'm this life coach and I want to, help people. What do I know? I know running. I can turn just about anything into a running analogy. So I thought, okay, I'll write this book, Run Yourself Happy. I'll become the Run Yourself Happy coach. I created a Run Yourself Happy system, right? I did all the things that you're supposed to do. The problem was it was only partially fulfilling and I wasn't really showing up as myself. So, and I definitely wasn't making very much money. So I'm going to fast forward through a lot of my story, but the point is I did a lot of things like that. I wound up in the world of business coaching, truthfully, because that was the low-hanging fruit. That's where there were people who I saw could like benefit from the things that I knew, the things that I was good at. But you guys, I was trying and trying and trying. And quite honestly, I just wasn't making very much money. I'd get a client here or there, but I was really living in imposter syndrome, right? I felt like, and I had imposter syndrome even when I was a high school teacher, right? I just sort of felt like I am kind of faking this. Like I'm pretty good at this stuff, but I don't feel like I'm in my strengths and my truth and my power. I just feel like I'm close to that. And I constantly felt like I had to deliver something, that I had to, whatever people were paying me for, I had to make sure that I did it for them, that I figured it out for them. And so I stopped really being a coach and I started, delivering marketing services and copywriting. And I can't even remember all the things that I've done. All of them were dancing around who I really am. So finally, a couple years ago, at this point I was making money, but I wasn't making a lot. And finally, a couple of years ago, I was just exhausted and depleted, and I was tired of trying. So I was tired of like banging my head against the wall, feeling anxious, having imposter syndrome, and feeling just like I was trying so hard to be what I thought I was supposed to be, to show up the way that I thought I was supposed to show up, and feeling honestly like not any better than I did in my job as a teacher, which, by the way, I was a pretty good teacher, but I wasn't great. Like it wasn't what I meant to do. I meant to coach, and I knew that early on. So a couple years ago, I just decided to stop trying. I just decided, you know what? I'm going to choose alignment, right? I'm going to choose ease. And that was my word for that year. The word for that year was ease. And so what would be the easiest thing in the world? And so I made a declaration. I declared, I get paid really well to talk to people. That was my declaration. But you know what happened? So I stopped trying to do all the marketing like just the right way, even though truth is like, I really know how to do that. It didn't feel good. It was exhausting and depleting. And so I just stopped doing it. I stopped trying to like have the perfect niche. I stopped doing anything that felt out of alignment, that felt like it wasn't me, that felt contrived. And I started just showing up as who I am. And guess what? Clients came out of the woodwork. People came out of nowhere. It was amazing. Like I went from, struggling to try to find just the right words, to find just the right clients and build my email list and like do all the things you're supposed to do. I went from that to ease, to people showing up at just the right time, to getting referrals from clients I had years ago, to being in a coaching group with people who were suddenly like, hey, I need your help. Can you help me? Getting clients suddenly became really easy. And the reason it became easy, one, is because I declared ease my word for that year, but two is because I stopped trying. I stopped trying so hard, and I stood in my truth and my power, right? Which is, I'm enough. I am amazing. I'm a coach at heart. There's a reason I call myself the business BFF. It's because I can show up for you. I'm like the biggest cheerleader. But beyond that, you guys, I know, right, what I offer is what most solopreneurs really need in their business. They don't need another training course. They don't need another program. They don't need especially another group coaching program necessarily. What they need is somebody to have their back, a teammate on their entrepreneurial journey, somebody to be there with them. What they need is me, right? And that's why they came to me. So when I stopped trying so hard in my business, declared what I really wanted to be true, which was I get paid really well to talk to people, amazing stuff happened. Clients showed up. They showed up saying things like, you're my person, right? I don't know why, but we need to work together. They showed up, we would have a conversation. I started to offer clarity calls, which I charged for, right? Because I had been doing free discovery sessions that weren't really converting. Suddenly, I just started charging for a conversation with me, charging for something I called a clarity call, because I knew enough to know that if someone has a conversation with me, they will get clear. They'll feel better. And if it feels right, they'll hire me. You guys, that's all I did. I stopped trying so hard. I stood in my truth and my power and my value. I understood, listen, I'm having a hard time at this moment in time finding the exact phraseology for the amazingness that is me, right? Condensing myself into a sentence. But let's have a conversation. I promise it'll be productive. If it is, you're probably going to want to hire me. And if it's always going to be productive, but maybe that one conversation is enough, and that's okay too. And when I was able to stand in that, holy crap, you guys, my business started moving. And then even more opportunities showed up, things that I had wanted for a long time that I never could have foreseen. I started leading a mastermind without having to fill it. I got to lead retreats. I got to speak at people's live events. Like, this is stuff that I had dreamed about for a really long time, and all of it happened when I stopped trying. So that is why I stopped trying in my business. And if you're interested in a clarity call, you can go to carrieroldan.com / I think it's 90-minute clarity. I'll double check. I'll put it in the comments below. But either way, I think my big takeaway for you guys, or my big message for you, is what would happen for you if you just declared? What would your declaration be? And are you brave enough to do it? Are you brave enough to declare your truth and then stop trying so hard to make it happen? All right, that's it for now.